Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's devotional. Sure is good to be invited into your home again. I hope everybody's doing well. I sure do miss you. I look forward to seeing you. Maybe that will happen pretty soon. Maybe sometime in June we'll all be back together. I do look forward to being with everybody. Tonight I'm going to read a book called The Gift. This book is written by Bob Gill, and it's a favorite of mine. Hope you enjoy it. This is a story about a boy named Arthur. One day, not too long ago, while he was looking for something in his dad's closet, Arthur noticed a package on the top shelf. It was wrapped in shiny paper with stars on it and tied with a bright red ribbon. He almost hadn't noticed the package because it was particularly hidden behind an old hat, a cardboard box, and a pair of hiking boots. Arthur was sure it would be a surprise present for his birthday, which was just 2 weeks away. His mother always wrapped his presents in a red ribbon. It must be a birthday cake, Arthur thought. You can't have a birthday without a birthday cake. He hoped it would be chocolate with lots of whipped cream. Or maybe it was a ring toss. If he practiced a lot, he could become the world champion ring tosser and get his picture in the newspaper. If the present were a sailboat, the first thing he would do would be a string to take it and to tie it. Take it to the pond in the park and try to sail it. If it were a tractor, he would hook it up to his friend's truck. They would pretend the truck had a flat tire so the tractor could tow it to a garage. What about a bowling set? No, the last thing he wanted was a bowling set. He hated bowling. He'd prefer a really soft teddy bear. Arthur's favorite candy was chocolate. How about a gazillion chocolate bars? Gumballs wouldn't be so bad either. Arthur's backpack had a few holes in it. He was probably ready for a new one. It might even be a Japanese lantern. He'd hang it over his bed, wondering what the Japanese writing might be. If it were a paint box, he'd paint a picture of his house, and then he'd paint one of the tree, and then after that, well, he wasn't sure what he'd paint. It might be a puzzle, but not one that's too easy or too hard. If the present were from Aunt Gert, it would be a scarf. She gives a scarf every year. If the present were from Uncle Tony, it would be gloves. He gives gloves every year. Arthur always wanted a kite. Maybe the present was a kite. He had once asked for ice skates. Maybe he'd finally get them on his birthday. A TV wouldn't be bad. Lots of kids have their own TVs. Maybe he'd get one too. Or even a computer. A friend said he watched movies on his computer. That would be so cool. Ever since he heard someone play a horn in a movie he saw, he wanted to blow one just like it and make that strange sound. What fun if the present were a horn. It could be a wheel, but he already had 2 wheels on his bicycle. He certainly didn't need another wheel. He wondered if it was a fish bowl with a fish swimming around. No, it couldn't be a fish bowl. A fish wouldn't keep, but it could be a dartboard like the one his cousin Harold had. Since he knew how to tell time, he could really use a clock of his own. But he'd love to have a volleyball. Then maybe the big kids in the park would let him play with them. Every day, Arthur checked to make sure the present was still there. And just when it seemed to Arthur that his birthday would never come, it was suddenly the day before the big event. He went to his dad's closet to look at the present one more time. That's when the front doorbell rang. His mother answered the door. He heard her talking to a woman who said she was collecting toys for poor children. Arthur climbed up on the chair, got down the present, and ran over to where his mother and the woman were talking. And he gave the woman his present. Isn't that a good story, boys and girls? Adults, isn't that a good story for us? You know, we're so blessed. We have most everything that we need. And it just makes us feel good that Arthur's heart was touched. Tonight, I have a passage of scripture that I'd like for you to read to your parents. Or if you can't read, I'd like for your parents to read it to you. It's from 1 John 3, 16 through 18. If anyone has material possessions and sees a brother or a sister in need, but has no pity on them, how can the love of God be in that person? Dear children, let us not love with words or speech, but with actions and in truth. Good to be with you, boys and girls. Good to be with you, moms and dads and grandparents. Everybody take care. Look forward to being with you soon.